Alright guys, quick update. I'll owe you one. I'm gonna be very quick and to the point, but cut long story short, we're still nowhere near close to resolving that puzzle. Okay, so after the last video, by the way guys, thanks for all your comments, it's really keeping my spirits up. So I've read them all, and all you suggested I could have taken on board, and I've been trialing this for the whole week. There was four major fundamental things I wanted to test, and nothing seems to be working. Let me show you what I've done so far. Right, so thing number one, you guys suggested the ignition coil may be having a good resistant reads, but it's breaking down under load, as many of you experienced that before. Well, guess what? There's a brand new ignition coil fitted right here, and you know what? That's it. Nothing fucking works. It's still working exactly, and I mean exactly the same as with the original coil, which, unless I got faulty the brand new coil, which I don't think is possible, they both working absolutely fine. And ohm readers, resistance read on this little machine proves they are working fine. So the ignition coil is not the case. The other thing is, guys, you mentioned CDI box may be faulty, although it's electronics, you're right, they either working or they don't. This one, which is original, fitted here to the bike, has been idling the bike absolutely fine and has been starting the bike with no problem. That's what controls the timing of the day in a way. Produces the spark, well, not produces the spark, but sends the signal to the coil to spark be produced at the right time. Suggested this may be failing. So I've got a second-hand one. Again, I couldn't find a new one in reasonable money, or I couldn't find a new one at all, but I found the one from a good known working bike. It has been tested, bike's been working on the road just like the Carburetor, and I know you're gonna say, what if this got the same fault as that? I mean, really. By the way, I tested out with this unit and it's experiencing exactly, and I mean 100% exactly same issue at the exactly same time. The behavior of them two is precisely exactly 100% the same. I know you're gonna say, what if this one is faulty just like this one is? Come on, if they show in exactly the same symptoms, I don't think it's the ignition coil in the first place. It's idling fine on both, it's accelerating to about 5%, anything over that, it misfires like crazy, doesn't want to go, is not happy. I don't think it's the ignition coil, the CDI box. I don't think it's a problem here. I know it's not a brand new one, but having two failing in exactly same way, very, very unlikely. Another thing you guys suggested is the ignition switch may be faulty and the cables and the wires around it. And I give you that. I mean, that ignition, when I first arrived, you can see the keys turning, but it's not doing anything until you press it kind of upwards, and then it kind of clicks. And only then, when it's connected, the neutral light comes on and everything is working. So that ignition had its dodgy parts, and I wanted to replace it eventually, because you need to kind of fuck about with a key for it to work. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe the ignition is faulty and it's not sending the correct voltage to this unit, and that unit in turn sends the correct signal to my ignition coil, which fires the spark, whatever magic happens, you name it. So guess what? I got a brand new ignition system for that exact bike, brand new, plugged in, grounded, beautiful action, the key, look at that. I can't even turn the one hand, but hey, magic happens, light comes off, I can turn it off. Beautiful, Guess what? Fuck off again, exactly same problem. So ignition is not the problem, although I don't worry about it because I dropped something, doesn't matter. I don't worry about it because the ignition needed to be changed eventually, the ignition was fucked. So still, no fucking difference, the bike still doesn't run. And a lot of you made comment about the exhaust being blocked up. Well, guess what? I fucking took the exhaust off. I spray a little tiny bit of compressed air from a can to one side, block the other pipe, and the air was coming out beautifully from there. Then I block this one, I blow some air in there, and it's coming out from here beautifully, and as if tiny little compressed air like this makes its way through the exhaust system with no issues, and it comes out beautifully. There is nothing wrong with that exhaust. I knew there's nothing wrong with that exhaust because I can see the fumes coming from it beautifully. On top of that, to make the story even more interesting, I ran the bike with no exhaust, and even though it was fucking ridiculously loud, he experienced exactly same problem. He was idling fine, very loud though, but I tried to rev it up over here and the bike poo itself and it doesn't fucking run. What am I missing here? I think we explored everything. The last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rip apart all the electrics, and I mean everything that's not supposed to be in a bike. I already started doing this process. Everything that's not supposed to be, I mean, is not necessary for the bike to run. I'm gonna rip all the lights off. I'm gonna remove the indicators, the brake switches, the flashing relays. I'm gonna remove all that, you know, everything that's not supposed to be there, that is not necessary for bike to run. Just leave all the essentials, and I'm gonna double check and clean all the connections, and I'm gonna start it again, but I'm not holding much hope over here. What am I fucking missing here? There's one more thing I want to try. I want to try different pickup coil. I haven't opened that left side of the engine casing yet. I'm gonna double check if it's all okay in there, and maybe I can get a second-hand one or a new one and fucking replace it. But again, I tested with my little voltmeter, the resistance meter, and it seems to be in the spec. Still, the bike doesn't run. I know you say the carburetor is a problem. This is the original carb, which is squeaky clean inside. Yes, the air mixture screw was messed up, yeah? I get it. Yeah, it was messed up, but it was running exactly same. Apart from the air mixture wasn't idling properly. When I revved it up, it was misfiring like a bitch. So I got a second-hand carb, and yes, again, I get it. It's not brand new, and how do I know it's working fine? Well, I took it apart. Bit by bit. I took it apart to 1,000 pieces. I cleaned it. It was good condition. I make it even more cleaner, more better condition, and the bike starts perfectly well. The bike idles like sweet as a nut, beautifully with this carburetor. Still, you try to open the throttle ever so gently, and it misfires like a bitch, exactly like the original carburetor I had on it. I know you say I haven't seen this carb running on the bike, I know that, but it's experiencing exactly the same problem as the previous one, and I mean not even slightly different, or doesn't go to a higher RPM, or it doesn't even hesitate 3 seconds longer. No, it's having exactly, and I mean exactly same issues as the original carb. Chances of that being carburetor related problem, I really seriously doubt it. And no, I'm not running a petrol tank, I'm running Mackie petrol tank auxiliary funnel with a brand new fuel line over here that has got a free flow, I'm sure of it, so that's not an issue. And I'm using clean petrol. I know some of you picked up the petrol was yellow, it's the light I've got here. It's not, it's a fresh petrol. I sucked it out from my Triumph from a petrol tank, and I just filled it up. I fill it up every week, so I know it's fresh and a good quality petrol, so it's not the problem. Where the fucking problem is then? Tell me, what's going on here? I'm going crazy now. 2 carburetors, ignition coil, CDI box, brand new spark plug. Check all the electrical installations. Check timing marks, they are matched correctly. Check the compression, you told me it's good, I believe you. What else we check? Check the cam chain tensioner, that's good working order. It's not fully extended, so the cam chain is not overly stretched. Shouldn't be throwing the timing off when it's getting under pressure, because it's got another, you know, few half an inch or whatever to expand. I'm hoping that is the case anyway. Exhaust is, well, at the moment it's here, but I know it's free flowing and it's doing the same thing without the exhaust, so the exhaust is out of the equation. Ignition switch is also good, we've tried that already. I don't think I have many options to go. You got the new battery, you got a clean air filter, by the way, the same problem with or without the air filter. Strong spark, I have seen it myself. I've ordered timing light. I'm waiting for a timing light so we can just see whether it's firing, whether it's misfiring, whether it's lacking spark. I'm gonna test it hopefully early next week. If you have any other suggestions, please tell me, because I don't fucking know. Guys, as always, thank you for your help, thank you for your support. I'm gonna drink some mead right now because I deserved it. And until next one, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your comments, for your support. Stay safe out there. Have a beer, rock hard, and I'll see you very soon.